When I was 19, I was attending Springfield College. In my first semester, I had broken my back and I was prescribed painkillers, and that's kind of where my downward spiral began. When the pills were taken away from me, I just went out and found other ways to get what I needed. I got pulled over in New Hampshire, right on 95 before the Portsmouth Circle, and there was stuff in the car. The officer noticed that something wasn't right. I refused to allow him to search the vehicle. He impounded the car and dropped me off at the Fox Run Mall. I was scared for my life. My drug use had gotten so bad that I was cross-eyed, like I couldn't see anything. I couldn't physically get dressed. That's how bad it was. A whole year and a month later, here comes this federal indictment, and I'm pregnant with my son now. I didn't know who the father was. I had a substance use problem. Like, I had so many things going on. Today I'm super grateful that I have my baby, but I can promise you that I didn't want him at first because I was so lost at that moment, and my mind wasn't right. I turned myself in. I had to go in front of the judge, and they had to release me to this residential drug program. It was the best thing that could ever happen to me. When I walked in there, the first question is, like, what do you like about yourself? And at that moment, there's not one thing I could have listed that I liked about myself. I had to stay in the state of New Hampshire, so I started to do some research on some local shelters in the area, and New Generation was one of them. I called every Monday, is there a spot available? And then finally I got that phone call.
New Generation is a place that offers single mothers and their children an opportunity to start again. No matter what their background is, no matter where they are coming from, it's a place for people to dream about what they can become with their children.
When I got to New Generation, the women here were just so welcoming. They really encouraged me and made me feel like I was something.
The three main services that we offer are emergency housing, transitional housing, and aftercare services. New Generation is definitely the place where people can feel at home, but at the same time they know that we are working with them to get permanent housing.
When I came in here, they had me continue working on my mental health and my recovery, and we had a parenting group, and you always learn something new. It took me a few months to get my voucher, but I can promise you it's not easy to secure the housing. The housing authority that I went through called me and said, we have a unit, would you like to take a look at it? It was the best day of my life, and I would have never known about those resources if I hadn't come to New Gen. They offered me a job at the thrift store. I hadn't worked in over 5 years. Without New Generation, I would not have been able to get my CRSW, Certified Recovery Support Worker, and I am licensed through the state of New Hampshire. Slowly, I was able to come on as a care coordinator. Eventually, I was put on to do the case manager work, and I kind of just jumped in.
What inspires me about Brandy, of course, her story, but it's more than anything, she's such a great professional. She holds herself to those high standards, and everybody else. It's like you have high standards and you have Brandy standards. And she makes herself so accountable for everything that she does, because she understands that she's a role model for many of the residents.
What I admire most about Brandy is her strength. I was in a very tough spot with my son's dad, and Brandy helped me get into the program. She fought for me to get into the program because she knew I needed the help to make things better for me and my son.
I truly believe that I'm able to do those things with these women because I've lived experience and I've had to go through all these processes, so I know what we need to do. It is a really, really amazing feeling to have these ladies, some of them look up to me like that.
Being able to see her succeed gives us a bunch of hope and faith, and it pushes us as parents and human beings to be able to make a better future for our kids, because that's what it really is all about.
Brandy is a great story, but can be one of many stories that are supported every day by Catholic Charities services and programs. And we need your support so we can have more Brandys, we can have more success stories, not just for New Generation, but for every single program that Catholic Charities supports.
Working with these women and children and watching them come in so vulnerable and so weak and so lost, and then watching them walk out of here with housing, employment, and being able to provide for themselves and love themselves and be the parent that they wanted to be is the best feeling in the world. And I know today that this is probably where I'm going to be for the rest of my life. Your gift to Catholic Charities New Hampshire matters.
Your gift matters, not just to those of us at New Generation, but to anyone needing help through all Catholic Charities programs.
Your gift changes lives. It changed mine. Please give to Catholic Charities today. Thank you.